Good morning. It's 8:30. Leaving East Harbor State Park. Gonna ride up into Michigan today. I'm gonna stop at Greenfield Village, which is in Dearborn, Michigan. It was started by Henry Ford while he was still alive, where he acquired buildings, some of which have historical significance, and he put them all on one plot of property and turned it into a museum. I'm going to actually meet my brother there. I'm going to tour it for a couple hours before I continue my journey north. I'm going to try to stay off the expressway. It's a couple hours ride. Another lovely day. It didn't cool down nearly as much last night as it did the prior. So let's see what the temperature is right now. It's already 60 degrees here at 8:39. See the signs all the time on the side of a barn as a kid. Don't see them much anymore. Toledo, Ohio sits on a river. Entering the state of Michigan. Still way over on the east coast of it. From the farmlands of Ohio to the farmlands of Michigan. Here I am at the Henry Ford, that's all I call it, the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village.
Items, most of them, over 3,000, are authentic to the 1880s. If you see something you don't know what it is or have a question, please ask.
George Washington Carver cabinet.
This blacksmith shop was originally built in the village of Snows Hill in Gloucestershire, England. It was owned and operated by the Stanley family. They've been in business there as blacksmiths for at least 300 years.
Thomas Alva Edison and his grandparents' home.
To buy 13 acres of land there. Each would build a house on the river and share a laboratory.
So he asked Edison if he could move into the little attic apartment right above the glass door shed.
Oh, that's funny.
He could get hold of and play the zither all night.
What Edison set it up to be. So he was a professional inventor. That's how he wanted to make a living.
A cylinder. And the ends are tucked in underneath this part.
Oh.
To record, this is the microphone. And you see the needle?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the recording needle.
Mm-hmm.
It lays on the tinfoil like that. Speak into the microphone. It makes this flexible diaphragm vibrate and pushes the needle against the tinfoil and pushes it down into the grooves underneath. And so as it vibrates up and down, when you turn the crank, it turns the sound waves into
Right.
bumps on the tinfoil.
Oh, wow.
That's how it records. And to play back, you rewind it, drag the needle back over those bumps, and use the same needle to play back. And the sound comes back.
I didn't
through the
realize you had to
microphone.
actually pull it back through the same groove.
So this is, there are like 200 of these built for sale. There's only a handful of them left in the world. The others are all behind glass. So I think this is the only place you'll be able to see one actually played. So I'll do my best Thomas Edison impression.
Okay.
I'll use the words that he used when he recorded for the very first
Yeah.
time. 1877. Here we go.
Hello, hello, hello. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Ha, ha, ha.
Most scientific test message.
Actually, I was thinking the words that Alexander Graham Bell did. And that was different inventor.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. Get in here, please.
here,
What was it? Something like,
Come here, Watson.
come here, come here. Exactly.
I'm embarrassed.
No, no,
I
I,
wanted something people would recognize when it was played back, in
Right.
case it wasn't too clear. Now you can see the lines I just built.
Yeah, right.
Inside
Yeah.
the lines are little bumps made by the needle. Now I'll lay the needle back on there and try to guess where I started. I think that's good. Now turn the crank and let that needle hit the bumps. And this is what I try to remember how fast I was turning. All right, here we go.
oh, interesting. So,
That's right.
that's excellent.
Yeah. Thomas
really good.
Edison's talking machine.
Wow.
Thank you.
Changed the world.
Cool.
That is very cool.
So this machine started our billion-dollar recorded music industry.
Yeah.
It all started here in the laboratory with a piece of tinfoil, and Mary had a little lamp.
Wow.
You heard it here in the laboratory. It was
Yes.
invented on an original Edison machine.
Wow.
And
Excellent.
clearly you're a professional singer.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Cast in 1949. The Wright Cycle Shop.
Museum for a while and pursue the flight, because if you're going to invent airplane, it takes a lot of money. So.
The Wright family home.
It was deconstructed, moved here and rebuilt, and Orville himself oversaw the restoration, so the buildings are much as they were in 1903. And this was her family home for about 40 years. She taught them to design and build. Quite unusual skills for a lady of the time, no doubt, but she learned from her dad, their grandfather, who'd been a carpenter. Now, unfortunately, Mom passed before they had those successes. Catherine was not quite 15 at the time, but steps up. Spends most of the rest of her life caring for her dad and brothers.
You got 15 months.
Yep. Still plenty of pieces and parts. They're collector's items now.
Yeah.
Still lots of them you'll
So that is Greenfield Village. A lot of historic buildings there. Definitely a nice place to visit. Detroit. Detroit traffic. It's going to be miserable getting through this, but there's rush hour and there's no way easily around it. Lakeport State Park. Here I am, Lakeport State Park in Michigan. Fairly full and also fairly expensive. It's $41 per night for a non-resident Plus, I need to buy an annual pass, which I think is another $41, which is required to stay at any of the state parks. And I'm going to be staying at 7 or 8 over the course of the next couple weeks. So that will get amortized across all my visits, but still fairly expensive, just on the $41 per night. Now the facilities are nice. Campground sites are okay. Good morning. It's day number 5. September 11th, 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on the U.S. Always remember that, as I'm sure most Americans do. This is my camp, number 59. The camp was quiet, but there's traffic nearby, which was a little disturbing. Another beautiful day today. It's cool in the mid to low 50s. Absolutely clear skies. And I'm headed over to Frankenmuth this morning. I'm going to have lunch with my brother. And there's a small museum there. It talks about some of the notable figures in the history of Michigan. So we're going to visit that, and then I'm going to head my way north to Rogers City, which is at the northern part of the Lower Peninsula. Going through my startup procedure here. Bike is all covered with water. Check the blinkers. Both sides. Make sure it's working. Make sure my headlight is on. My side lights are working. I've got my top case wired in. It is blinking, which it's supposed to. And the rear brake built into the bike is working. I installed those blinkers that blinks 3 times as a warning to anybody behind me. Wired it into the bike's electrical system, specifically the brake system. Attach my harness for the bike vest. And clear off the mirrors a little bit. Everything's damp, it'll dry out in a hurry though. And here we go, day number 5. As the name implies, Frankenmuth is a German community, or Willkommen, known for their food. Chicken dinners, of all things. This is actually what I'm going to do for lunch. It's been many years since I've been here. Should be fun. Great museum, tons of stories. Spent all day there. So this is downtown Frankenmuth. And Zender's famous chicken dinners is where I'm going. Just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm leaving Frankenmuth. And I was hoping to spend a little more time here. But I got 3 hours of travel in front of me, 183 miles. So it sounds like most of it's highway, or at least high speed, if not the interstate. I got off the interstate and I am headed northeast on Highway 33 towards Rogers City, mostly north. More Michigan farmland. Entering the Huron National Forest. Just crossed 62,000 miles on this motorcycle, 62,002. Let's see where we are on the trip meter. 1,156.8 miles. During Rogers City, the Limestone City, 1871. There it is, the mighty Lake Huron, one of the 5 Great Lakes. Ship way off there in the distance. You cannot see the far shore. It's like an inland sea, fresh water. Building Michigan together. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull around and figure out what I'm gonna do here. I don't remember there being a lot of campgrounds in this area either. And it is almost 6 o'clock, so I've got about an hour of daylight. So there's a state forest up here that apparently has camping. It's about 21 minutes away, 19 miles. I saw on the paper map that I picked up this morning. And they show camping 6 miles. Alright. Well, the Garmin's pretty worthless on this little excursion. It keeps suggesting roads that don't even exist. So I booted up my GPS on my phone, which tends to be the Google Maps, which tends to be a little bit more accurate. Let's see if this county line road's any better coming up here. I wouldn't be so worried about it, but for the fact I'm losing daylight, although I suppose if push came to shove, I'll just park on the side of the road and set my tent up somewhere. This is where these 80/20 Anarchy Adventure tires come in handy. I don't ride off the pavement very often. When I do, I want to have something I feel comfortable with. Alright, here I am on County Line Road. At least I think I'm on the right road. They're both agreeing, both GPSs are agreeing, or both maps are agreeing. Well, thanks once again, Garmin. There's a paved entrance into it. I figured there would be. There's deer coming out. It's evening time. That's a fawn. There could be a mother nearby. Aside from getting tired, that's one of the reasons I don't like riding late in the day. The animals start coming out. Just saw 2 more deer. They are out in abundance right now. Only 0.3 miles back here. This road's pretty easy. Dirt roads, I think, are, knock on wood, are pretty easy for me. It's a gravel road where it's loose gravel. It's a little unnerving, especially when there's downgrades or upgrades, steep upgrades. Mostly the downgrades. And a little sandy here. Alright, so what's it say? Or upper campground, lower campground? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's go this way. I'll try the lower one. Looks like it's closer to the lake. Maybe I'll get a pretty view. This is the payoff. It's a good looking site. Site number 12. Tucked in for the night. Probably a dozen or so campers here. What a beautiful spot.